All right, welcome to The Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today because honestly, we are looking at a monumental shift in the tech landscape right now. If you're a cloud expert, a cybersecurity architect, or an AI and ML specialist, you are absolutely going to want to pay close attention to this one. Our core theme today is the agentic pivot. Looking at the data from early July 2026, the writing is literally on the wall. Autonomous AI systems aren't just quirky experimental chatbot features anymore. No way. They are rapidly penetrating every single layer of the enterprise tech stack.
Before we dive into the deep end, a quick note on how we put this together. The summary we're discussing today was actually generated using Notebook LM, but, and this is absolutely crucial, every single data point, metric, and feature we're about to unpack is grounded purely in actual published public sources from this past week. So we are dealing strictly with the facts here.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We'll be covering four main areas. First, cloud infrastructure upgrades. Second, AI and cloud cybersecurity. Third, enterprise AI integrations. And finally, frontier AI model releases. Let's get to it. Starting with Section 1, Cloud Infrastructure Upgrades. We're looking at how the industry is optimizing the foundation.
So the major hyperscalers are basically attacking infrastructure friction from completely different angles right now. Take AWS, for example. CloudFormation and CDK Express Mode are now generally available, and by totally bypassing those extended stabilization checks, they're cutting deployment times by up to 4 times. That's a massive speed boost. Meanwhile, Microsoft Entra Backup and Recovery is shifting organizations toward full tenant recoverability. They've just introduced a newly extended 7-day retention period. And over in Google Cloud territory, they're rolling out custom SQL-based alerting in preview. This is super cool because you can now bypass static limits entirely and write complex queries across high cardinality data to trigger your alerts.
Moving right along to Section 2, AI and cloud cybersecurity. Time to see how we're actually securing this massive AI shift. Google Cloud just pulled back the curtain on how they use specialized modular AI security agents internally to protect their own software development lifecycle. And honestly, this is a brilliant blueprint for the enterprise. Step 1, they've swapped out static threat models for live automated risk dossiers. These cross-reference designs against over 200 security requirements. They call this dynamic architecture gating. Next up, Step 2 leverages their multi-agent Mantis framework. This orchestrates totally noise-free repository scanning, building context-aware code summaries that slash token overhead by over 85%. Plus, it physically verifies vulnerabilities and isolated sandboxes before it ever bothers a developer, completely filtering out those annoying hallucinations. Finally, any validated vulnerabilities trigger automated patching pipelines. This whole thing is guided by an autonomous security posture management engine, or ASPM, that monitors live systems and literally applies self-healing remediation on the fly.
But, as the ecosystem evolves, the fundamental protocols have to evolve with it. Take a look at this comparison for the crucial July 28th Model Context Protocol, or MCP, architectural overhaul. We're seeing this absolutely necessary shift from a local, legacy stateful design to a much more rigorous enterprise-grade stateless architecture. It's kind of like moving from relying on a VIP club stamp on your hand to requiring a fresh biometric scan for every single action you take. The legacy system relied on protocol-level sessions and allowed unsolicited server prompts, while the new stateless architecture completely eliminates those, which drastically cuts down traditional authentication risks for agentic systems. Instead, we now have client-controlled tracking identifiers and a universal meta object. The huge takeaway here? Developers are now strictly required to enforce cryptographic validation to prevent cross-agent workflow hijacking.
Of course, this new MCP specification also opens up a brand new threat landscape, and security architects need to prepare for this like yesterday. The introduction of sandboxed MCP apps and asynchronous background tasks creates totally fresh avenues for abuse. What you really need to take away from this is that traditional web browser risks have mutated. We're now dealing with things like stored cross-site scripting, which the industry is now calling AI XS, and resource exhaustion attacks. These are now a very real, very present reality for the AI execution ecosystem.
All right, let's pivot to Section 3, Enterprise AI Integrations. We are talking about modernizing legacy setups. This next one is a massive leap forward. Amazon Workspaces for AI agents has officially launched in general availability. Basically, these are managed virtual desktop environments that let autonomous models visually operate legacy software and GUIs. Just think about what this means for a second. Agents can now view and interact with your legacy enterprise CRMs, ERPs, and custom internal systems exactly like a human operator would. It completely bypasses API bottlenecks, so no more building insanely costly custom integrations. Plus, it features native MCP tool forwarding to cut down inference latency. And crucially for security, it gives operators live telemetry so you can instantly revoke access or just kill a task mid-session if you need to.
Now, over in the Microsoft ecosystem, Anthropic's Claude models are now generally available natively inside Microsoft Foundry. This brings some seriously production-grade reasoning engines straight to you AI and ML experts. A huge standout feature here is the automated model router. This thing optimizes latency and dynamically controls costs. We're talking cutting them by up to 50%. And for those of you managing highly sensitive production environments, it natively integrates zero data retention, or ZDR. That means your prompts and completions are completely omitted from post-API call storage. On top of that, engineers can now embed Claude as the central reasoning core right within the Foundry agent service for multi-agent planning.
Google is also bringing trusted agentic reasoning to the masses by moving conversational analytics in BigQuery into general availability. Powered by Gemini, this basically embeds natural language processing directly into your data warehouse. But here is the real kicker. It solves a massive trust issue by giving you fully auditable reasoning. It actually exposes its multi-step thinking process and the exact generated SQL behind every single response it gives you. On top of that, it integrates seamlessly across unstructured data silos and cross-cloud environments like Databricks Unity and AWS Glue, so you can run instant root cause analysis and map out autonomous, multi-step investigation plans without breaking a sweat.
Let's bring it home with Section 4, Frontier AI Model Releases. We're talking the bleeding-edge engines driving all of this.
First up, following the lifting of those brief U.S. government export control restrictions, Anthropic is redeploying its Frontier Claude Fable 5 model to general availability. The heavy focus here is on a robust defense in-depth architecture. They're targeting an incredibly impressive 99% mitigation rate against known vulnerability exploitation prompts, all thanks to a heavily expanded safety classifier. But what's really fascinating for the cybersecurity crowd is that Anthropic is rolling out a unified jailbreak severity framework. Modeled directly after the CVSS, this thing is designed to rigorously evaluate capability gain, weaponization ease, and discoverability across all Frontier LLMs.
Alongside Fable 5, Anthropic also launched Claude Sonnet 5 into general availability. This drastically updates their mid-tier offering and really narrows the performance gap with those massive Opus-class models. Sonnet 5 is delivering serious frontier-level autonomous capabilities across multi-step planning and native tool use, and yes, that includes browsers and terminals. It can literally execute complete software engineering tasks in a single pass. So for AI engineers looking to scale up, it offers maximum efficiency on agentic search tasks, which are benchmarked against BrowseComp, and computer use tasks, validated against OS World.
And naturally, not to be outdone, OpenAI just launched a limited preview of their next-generation GPT 5.6 model family. They've smartly segmented this into 3 distinct tiers built specifically for agentic workflows. You've got Sol, which is the flagship for deep reasoning, Terra for balanced workflows, and Luna for lightweight efficiency. This new architecture introduces a highly anticipated max setting, which gives the model way more test time compute to just sit and reason deeply. But even more impressive is the brand new Ultra mode. This actually automatically deploys multiple server-side subagents to execute highly complex tasks in parallel.
And wow, the results of that Ultra mode are just staggering. GPT 5.6 Sol achieved a record-breaking 91.9% on Terminal Bench 2.1 for command line iteration. 91.9%! It's matching previous capabilities on biology and cybersecurity benchmarks, but with massive token efficiency gains. Because it's wielding this much power, the safety stack uses layered, multi-tiered defensive guardrails. It pairs trained-in model refusals with real-time biology and cyber classifiers that will automatically pause generation the second it detects any high-risk system misuse.
So, we have covered a massive amount of highly technical ground today, right? Everything from sub-second infrastructure deployments and stateless AI protocols to models that can autonomously navigate your legacy software. So I want to leave you with a slightly provocative question. Is your enterprise actually ready for the agentic cloud? Do your current architecture and security postures account for this rapid, unstoppable shift toward autonomous, multi-step agentic systems? If not, well, it is absolutely time to start evaluating.
If you found this explainer valuable and you want to ensure you stay ahead of the curve for more deep dives into cloud, security, and AI insights, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel @ealstrin. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and I will see you in the next explainer.